And this is the brand new KICKER LX 3000.1. Thing's got a magnetic tray, lots of features. We're gonna amp dyno test this thing, high voltage, low voltage cutoffs. We're gonna test them all, and we're gonna put it through the ringer. And we're going to just, we're gonna look at it. So let's go over some of the features here. We got the 0 gauge inputs right there. They're not angled like the predecessor KX or KXA models, but how you screw them in is angled. The 0 gauge inputs do seem oversized. I had no problem fitting my 0 gauge wire in. Power protect light, high level input and low level input. Literally set your gain by a blinking light. That thing will blink if you are clipping.
Yeah, and if anyone attacks us, we can blink them to death.
You got your LED functions, you got your subsonic, crossover, frequency, and bandwidth, but those have to do with the KICKER EQ bass boost. You got your DC offset on and off. We have our remote bass knob control and our speaker input. Sorry, I got a few of these screwed in and out. I was taking a look at them, and you can see in there where it looks angled. Isn't that cool how that bottom section is angled and then the top side is angled as well? My only thing with them, I had a hard time kind of getting that angle and putting that wire in on the bottom. That's just my opinion. Moving on. I love the design they have on the side of these. Big old KICKER on the sides. 51LX 3000.1. I do want to mention, once you're done installing this amplifier, you just clip this thing on here and it's magnetic. I like how that is. And, you might still lose it, but at least you won't lose the screws and say, well, you know what, I'll put it on later and lose it forever. It takes 2 seconds and you're done. On the top here, you can actually invert this so that your logo goes the right way of your build, and I love the little things that they added to this amplifier. So let's go over and power test this amplifier and see if it does its rated numbers. We got the LX 3000.1 on the amp dyno here, and we're gonna do 4 ohm, 2 ohm, and 1 ohm tests, certified and uncertified, aka full tilt boogie. But let's do 4 ohm. It's rated 1100 watts. Let's see if we can get it. We got 1177 watts at 1% THD, certified at 4 ohms, dropping down to 14.1 volts, 88.8% efficient. That is super duper impressive. This time we're gonna crank it up to 11. Almost 1400 watts, 1389, 90% efficient, dropping down to 13.9 volts at 4 ohms. Full tilt boogie. Talk about a lot of power at 4 ohms. All right, this amp is rated 2000 watts at 2 ohm. Let's see if we can get certified. 2170 watts, certified at 83% efficiency at 14.7 volts. Now let's see what we can do. Full tilt boogie. Nice. 2480 watts, almost 2500 watts, uncertified at 14.5 volts. Heck yeah. Let's do the 1 ohm test. Let's turn on all the power supplies here. The LX 3000.1, 3000 watts, rated at 1 ohm. Let's see how much power we can get certified. Nice. We got 3043 watts at 14.3 volts, 75% efficient. That is awesome. Now let's do uncertified full tilt boogie. How much power can this amplifier do? Let's do it. Nice. 3,551 watts, 70% efficient, 14.1 volts. That is a lot of power out of a KICKER.
It's a KICKER amp. It's gonna do rated. But what about if my voltage sucks?
You know what, Wiz? That's a very good point. What if your voltage isn't as good as my amp dyno? 13 volts, 12 volts. Well, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna test it.
Hey, that was my idea.
I give you enough credit, and now the only car audio guy that has a fish tank in his room. Kicker, you need to put the fish tank back in the studio. It's just a Kicker thing.
All right, come on. Let's go on with it already.
Let's run it. Low voltage test, 4 ohm, uncertified. 13.5 volts, 1337 watts. Next up, low voltage test at 2 ohms. Okay, now that's really impressive. We're still able to do the 2000 watt rated, but at 13 volts. Now, uncertified, mind you, but not too much clipping either. Realistic results right there. Now we're gonna do 1 ohm. Not bad, 2,579 watts out of this amplifier at 12 volts.
I like that, but can you do a little bit more stress testing? Putting it through the ringer like you said? Hey, what's up, Cookie Monster? Cookie says to put it down below 10.9 volts.
10.9 volts? Why am I talking to my fish? Is it gonna blow up? Let's find out. Torture testing the I almost called it the KXA, the LX 3000.1, 10.9, 10.8. Yeah, I think we're starting to get down there. 10 volts. 9.9, 1700 watts. 1600. 1500, 1400, 8.8 volts. Is this amp gonna blow up? 8.5 volts, still good, doing 1200 watts. And we just lost the radio. Well, we went down below what the radio could do. The radio's right here, and this thing shut off. So then we lost our source. Let's see what the temperature is on that. I can't find my FLIR. We're at 140.5 degrees. Talk about a torture test. All right, Wiz. Was that good enough?
Yeah, I guess so. But you know what? I feel like there's more testing that we could do. Maybe with the top voltage and the bottom voltage. I didn't see the amp shut off.
All right, so you want the amplifier to shut off. We can do that. Let's do another test, but will this be the end of the testing? Because that amplifier is... I feel like it's going to blow up.
Yeah, you won't hear a peep out of me. Just do the test.
All right, you heard him. Let's do it. We're going to find out the operating range of this LX 3000.1. We got the test dummy just to drain the battery and find out where this thing shuts off on low voltage and high voltage. Let's test it. Still on 7.5 volts. Let's bring it down more. 6 volts. We're still on 5.6. We went off. 6.47. 7. 6 volts. 5.7. We're still on. Now we're off at 5.5 volts. You could run this amplifier down at 6 volts. And I think that's with in mind start-stop technology. Maybe you don't always have 14.4 volts. Now that we know this thing works down to pretty much wasted voltage, let's find out where it shuts off at high voltage. So now all I'm going to do is charge it really high and see what happens. Oh, we are in protect now. Oh, right there. Okay, so there's the protect. Where is it at? 16.69. Oh, right there. Soon as we go to 17 volt, 17.1 on this end, or 16.7 is good, 16.75 is bad. So I'm going to say 16.75 is the voltage cutoff on the top end. So you could use any type of battery, and I would not even charge a sodium battery that high. I just would not do it.
Yes, yes, very good. Very good.
Thanks, Wiz. This amplifier is awesome, and I'm not too surprised. It's Kicker, it's quality, and you can't do that with too many amplifiers. Just saying. We didn't even get it to shut off at 16.75 volts. It turns out that those lights actually are color-coded. So when it's green, it's good. When it's yellow, it's warning. And when it's red, it's in protect, and then it shuts off. We didn't even get it to go in protect at 16.75. That was just a warning, but still, I wouldn't be charging that high in any car. Still, nonetheless, awesome test, and the stress test, and the dyno, and the bass knob, just how that works and shows you an idea of the voltage, just like a Steve Meade designed voltmeter. I really like what they did on this amplifier. Kudos, Kicker. You did a good one on this. And I think this would be perfect for an L7X, pair of comp Qs, L7Ss. The world is your oyster. But thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate all my Patreons, the Green Team members. Love you guys. And as always, stay living loud. I'll see you guys on the next one.